Okay, so you know that feeling, right? When you've got work stuff going on, maybe trying to squeeze in some time to watch a show or a movie or even do something creative. And then it hits you like, wouldn't it be awesome to just have one device that could handle all of that?
Yeah.
Like, without even like breaking a sweat, you know?
For sure.
Well, that's kind of what we're diving into today on the deep dive.
Okay.
We're taking a closer look at the Lenovo Yoga 714 IT L5.
All right.
It's this 2-in-1 laptop that's really kind of caught our eye.
Yeah, I've been reading up on this one too. It's definitely seems like it's got some interesting features going on there.
Yeah, for this deep dive, we've gone through like a whole bunch of sources, like everything from those like general overviews that, you know, give you that high level look at what it can do.
Right.
To some really detailed reviews, like people who have, you know, really put it through its paces.
Yeah, the hands-on stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And our goal here is pretty simple. We want to really understand what this laptop is all about. Like, what are those key features? How does it perform, like, in actual everyday use? And ultimately, like, help you figure out if it actually delivers the kind of value that you're looking for.
Yeah, does it live up to the hype, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And the first thing that really jumped out to me about the Yoga 7 is just how versatile it seems to be.
Yeah. I mean, it's a true convertible, right? And they're really making a big deal about that 360-degree hinge.
Yeah, it's not just like opening and closing your regular laptop here, right?
No, it's like they've really thought about how people are actually using these devices.
Right.
And it's pretty fascinating when you think about it.
Yeah.
You can go from that traditional laptop setup, like for when you're, you know, typing away, to a full-on tablet experience.
Yeah.
Like seamlessly. And that's, you know, ideal for browsing or reading.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But then you've got those other modes too, like the tent and stand modes.
Right.
And those are like perfect for if you want to like share a video with someone or like give a presentation without that keyboard getting in the way.
Yeah.
And imagine like you're in a meeting, you could just flip it into a tablet and jot down notes with a stylus.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be super convenient.
Yeah, definitely.
I would use that all the time.
Okay, so let's dig into the design a little bit.
Okay, sure.
All the reviews are talking about this premium feel.
Yeah.
Which seems to be largely because of the aluminum chassis.
It's not just about looks though, right?
No, it's got to be more than that.
Yeah, that aluminum construction, you know, that definitely adds to the durability.
Yeah.
It gives it that kind of substantial high quality feel when you're holding it.
Right.
But importantly, it's not like super bulky or anything.
Yeah.
It's around 3.2 pounds. So it seems like they struck a really good balance there.
Yeah.
Feels solid, well built, but not a pain to carry around.
Yeah. You don't want to be lugging around something super heavy.
Yo, exactly.
All right, so you open it up and you're greeted by this 14-inch full HD touchscreen display.
Okay.
Now, full HD, I mean, that's pretty standard these days.
Yeah.
But it being an IPS panel, usually that means we can expect those good viewing angles and accurate colors, right?
Yeah, IPS is great for that.
And this one comes in at around 300 nits of brightness.
All right, so the IPS technology is really key here.
Okay.
It basically ensures that you get a consistent image quality no matter what angle you're looking at the screen from.
Yeah.
Which is super valuable.
Makes sense, especially with a convertible.
Yeah, you're going to be using it in all sorts of crazy positions.
Right, exactly.
So that 300 nits of brightness, that should be plenty for most indoor situations.
Okay.
You'll get those vibrant visuals. And a lot of the reviews also mentioned the thin bezels.
Oh, yeah.
Which really makes that screen feel bigger.
Yeah, more immersive.
Yeah, exactly.
And going back to that 360-degree hinge for a second, it's not just about those different modes, is it?
No, it's not.
All the reviews really emphasize how smooth and reliable that transition between modes feels.
It's not like clunky or anything.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like you're forcing it.
No, they've really engineered it well.
Right.
I mean, a smooth and dependable hinge that's like absolutely essential for a 2-in-1.
Yeah.
You want to be able to switch between like laptop, tablet, and all those other modes without worrying about it.
Yeah. Breaking it.
Yeah. Or it wearing out over time.
Right.
And as we talked about before, that flexibility really benefits you in a lot of ways, like taking notes, sketching, presenting your work.
Yeah. Lots of possibilities.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's talk about what's powering this thing.
Okay.
We're seeing mentions of both Intel Core i5 and i7 11th generation processors, depending on the specific model you get.
Right.
So for someone who mainly uses their laptop for, you know, everyday stuff, how much of a difference would they actually notice between the two?
That's a great question. You know, because for like typical daily productivity, like browsing the web, checking emails, working on documents.
Yeah, the stuff most people do.
Exactly. Both the Core i5 and i7 are going to be totally fine.
Okay.
You'll get a smooth and responsive experience with either one.
Okay.
But the i7, especially the Core i7 165G7, that one does offer a noticeable boost in power.
Okay.
So if you're doing more demanding stuff, like editing photos or videos or running a bunch of complex applications all at the same time, then the i7 is going to be better.
Okay.
You'll see faster processing times and just a smoother overall experience.
All right, so for the power users.
Yeah, if you're pushing it to the limit.
Makes sense.
But for everyday use, the i5 is still going to be totally capable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about RAM?
Okay.
We're seeing configurations with either 8 gigabytes or 16 gigabytes of LPDDR4X RAM.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
So these days where, we all have like a million tabs open and multiple applications running.
Yeah.
How important is that jump up to 16 gigabytes?
Yes. It's honestly pretty crucial now.
Okay.
I mean, think about it. Web pages are getting more and more complex.
Oh, yeah, they're huge.
Apps are constantly running in the background. So that 16 gigabytes of RAM really gives you a lot more breathing room.
Okay.
Now, 8 gigabytes can still be okay.
Okay.
Like if you're not doing anything too crazy.
Yeah.
But if you're someone who, has like 50 tabs open.
Yeah.
Or if you're doing any kind of content creation, even light photo editing, or if you're running a bunch of apps at once.
Yeah.
Go with the 16 gigabytes.
Okay.
It'll make a big difference.
All right. 16 it is.
Yeah. And it's LPDDR4X too, so that means it's faster memory.
Oh, okay.
Which helps the system respond more quickly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now for graphics, it seems like the Yoga 7 relies on Intel Iris E graphics, so it's not a dedicated graphics card.
Right.
So we should probably set some realistic expectations here.
Yeah, this isn't a gaming rig.
Right, we're not going to be playing like the latest and greatest games at max settings.
No, but Intel Iris E graphics are a big improvement over what they used to have.
Okay.
And it's actually pretty capable for everyday stuff.
Okay.
Like light photo and video editing, and even some casual gaming.
Okay.
You'll be able to play a lot of games without any problems.
Okay.
But for those super demanding AAA games, you're going to want a dedicated graphics card.
Makes sense.
It's just a trade-off you have to make with a thin and light convertible.
Yeah, you kind of have it all.
Right.
Okay, so in terms of storage, it looks like there are SSD options ranging from 256 gigabytes all the way up to a full terabyte.
Yeah, that's a good range.
So having a fast SSD, that's really key to that quick and responsive feel, right?
Absolutely.
Like that's what we expect from a modern laptop.
Yeah, the SSD makes a huge difference in how fast the laptop boots up, how quickly applications launch, just the overall snappiness of the system.
Yeah.
Whether you need 256 gigabytes or a terabyte, that really depends on, how much stuff you plan on storing.
Right. How many photos and videos and everything.
Yeah, exactly. But having those fast read and write speeds, that's crucial.
Okay.
That's what makes it feel modern.
All right. So one thing I noticed in the reviews was they were talking about an efficient dual fan cooling system.
Interesting.
And in a laptop, this thin and light with all these components, keeping things cool has got to be pretty important.
Oh, it's essential.
For maintaining that performance.
Especially if you're pushing the system.
Right.
A good cooling system prevents the processor from slowing down when it comes too hot.
Okay, so it doesn't throttle.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you can work on demanding tasks or play games for a long time without the laptop overheating.
Right.
And the fact that they have two fans, that means they're really serious about managing heat.
Okay.
Compared to those single fan designs you see in some really thin laptops.
So they're going the extra mile. Okay, let's talk about battery life, because that's always a big deal for people on the go.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the reviews are saying you can get an impressive 12 to 14 hours on a single charge.
Wow.
With that 71 watt-hour battery.
That's a big battery.
So that's going to be pretty great for getting through a whole workday.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Especially for people who are traveling a lot.
Yeah.
Or who just hate being tied to an outlet.
Right.
Now, of course, your actual battery life is going to depend on what you're doing.
Right.
Like how bright your screen is and what apps you're running.
Yeah.
But those numbers are definitely promising.
Yeah, it seems like it could last a long time.
Yeah, I think most people would be pretty happy with that.
And if you do find yourself running low on battery, it sounds like Lenovo has you covered with their Rapid Charge Express feature.
I've heard of that.
Which can apparently get you up to 80% charge in about an hour.
Wow, that's fast.
Yeah, so that could be a real lifesaver.
When you're in a hurry.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's a game changer for sure.
Okay, so let's talk about how you actually interact with the Yoga 7.
Okay.
The keyboard consistently gets praise for being comfortable.
Yeah.
With well-spaced keys and good key travel.
That's so important.
Right, especially if you're doing a lot of typing.
Yeah, a comfortable keyboard is essential.
It can make or break a laptop.
Yeah, for sure.
So good key spacing that helps prevent you from hitting the wrong keys.
Right, less typos.
Exactly.
And adequate key travel, that means the keys move a good distance when you press them.
Right.
And that just makes it feel more satisfying to type.
Yeah.
You won't get tired as quickly.
And the touchpad is described as being smooth and responsive.
Okay.
With support for those multi-finger gestures.
Yeah, those are great once you learn them.
Yeah, they can really speed things up.
For sure.
Right.
A good touchpad is so important.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not using a mouse.
Right.
And those multi-finger gestures, they just add another level of efficiency.
Yeah, you can do so much with them.
Yeah, like switching between apps, accessing menus.
Yeah.
Controlling your virtual desktop.
Okay, so we can't forget that the Yoga 7 is a 2-in-1.
Right.
So we got to talk about the touchscreen and the stylus support.
Of course.
It comes with the Lenovo Active Pen.
Okay.
Which has an impressive 4,096 levels of pressure sensitivity.
Wow, that's a lot.
So that sounds like it could be really useful for certain people.
Yeah, that level of control is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it means the harder you press, the thicker the line gets.
Right.
So it feels much more natural when you're writing or drawing.
Yeah, like a real pen.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's a huge benefit for digital artists.
Yeah.
Students taking notes.
Mm-hmm.
Professionals who need to annotate documents.
Yeah, lots of possibilities.
Yeah, lots of people could really take advantage of that.
Okay, let's move on to connectivity.
Okay.
It seems like the Yoga 7 has a pretty solid selection of ports, including those two USB-C Thunderbolt 4 ports.
Oh, yes.
So for someone who might not be super techy, right? What's the big deal about Thunderbolt 4?
Okay, so think of Thunderbolt 4 as like a superhighway for data.
Okay.
It's incredibly fast and versatile.
Okay.
So if you need to transfer large files like videos, it'll happen way faster than with regular USB.
Okay.
You can also connect multiple high-resolution displays with just one cable.
Oh, wow.
And you can even charge the laptop through it.
So it does it all?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And having two of those ports means you have a lot of flexibility.
Well, you can really connect anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So in addition to those, we've also got a regular USB-A port,
right,
an HDMI port, the standard audio jack,
yeah,
and even a microSD card reader.
It's good to see they haven't gone all in on USB-C.
Right. They're still keeping those other ports around.
Yeah, because not everyone has switched over completely, so that USB-A is still useful for older devices. HDMI is great for connecting to external monitors or projectors.
Right, for presentations and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And the microSD card reader is handy for photographers, or if you need to expand the storage.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good mix.
Okay, and for wireless connections, the Yoga 7 has Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.1.
Yeah, the latest and greatest.
So that means fast, stable connections for everything.
Exactly. Wi-Fi 6 is super fast.
Okay.
Especially in crowded networks.
Right.
And Bluetooth 5.1 is great for accessories.
Yeah, like headphones.
Yeah, headphones, mice, keyboards, all that stuff.
And for all those video calls we're all doing these days, the Yoga 7 has Dolby Atmos tuned speakers.
Oh, nice.
So hopefully that means we'll get clear and immersive audio.
Yeah, Dolby Atmos is usually a good sign.
Right.
It should make a difference for video calls.
Okay.
But also for listening to music and watching videos.
Right.
It'll just sound richer and more spacious.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. The webcam is a 720p HD unit.
Okay.
And it's good to see that it has a physical privacy shutter.
Yes. That's so important these days.
Right. In this world where everyone's worried about privacy.
Yeah. It gives you peace of mind.
Right. For sure that it's off.
Exactly.
And you don't want it on.
No more taping over it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, 720p is fine for most video calls.
Yeah.
But some reviews did say that the image quality could be a bit sharper.
Okay.
In good lighting.
Yeah, sometimes those webcams could be a bit grainy.
Right.
But it's probably fine for most people.
Okay, so on the software side, the Yoga 7 runs on Windows 11.
Okay, the latest and greatest.
So you get that modern interface and all the new features.
Yeah.
And Lenovo also includes their Vantage software.
Oh, yeah.
For managing the system.
That's a handy tool. Lets you keep everything up to date, check on your hardware. And customize a bunch of settings.
Yeah.
Like power management and performance.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's definitely worth exploring.
So overall, the Lenovo Yoga 7 14 ITL5, it seems like a really compelling package.
It does.
We're talking premium design, that super versatile Hinge, bright touchscreen, great battery life.
With fast charging.
Yeah.
It's ticking a lot of boxes.
Right. And that stylus support is a nice bonus.
Yeah, definitely.
And all those ports.
Got everything you need.
Yeah, it really does seem designed to be like a workhorse.
Yeah, a versatile machine that can handle a lot.
Right.
And appeal to a wide range of people.
Yeah, because not everyone uses their laptop the same way.
Exactly.
But of course, like with anything, there are a few downsides that the reviews mention. It's a bit heavier than some of those super thin and light laptops.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have a dedicated graphics card.
Right.
So it's probably not the best choice for serious gamers.
Or video editors.
Right.
And if you're doing really heavy-duty stuff, you might want something else.
And as we said, the webcam could be a bit better.
Yeah.
But those are really the only major things.
Yeah, for most people, those probably won't be deal breakers.
Right. It really comes down to your priorities.
Yeah, how are you actually going to use this thing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to wrap up our deep dive, it sounds like the Lenovo Yoga 7 14 ITL5 is a really strong option.
It is.
For anyone who wants a good balance of power portability and that 2-in-1 flexibility.
Yeah, it seems perfect for FINs.
Okay.
Professionals who give presentations.
Yeah.
Anyone who likes to consume media in different ways.
Yeah, like watching movies in tent mode.
Yeah, or reading in tablet mode.
Right.
It can handle pretty much anything you throw at it.
So as you're thinking about your next laptop, ask yourself this.
Okay.
Which of the Yoga 7's features would actually make the biggest difference in your life?
That's a good question.
And how could having a 2-in-1 change the way you work, learn, or even relax?
Yeah, food for thought.
That's something to think about.
It is.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It was fun.
See you next time.
See you later.